Good morning. This is Mona, and this is my morning view. Trying to get my glove on here. One-handed. Ooh, it is really chilly this fall, 2025. And today, it is Fiesty Friday, so we're going to warm up real quick here. Okay, I'm going to start off with the fact that I may look like a contradiction today. So, I'm going to end up offending myself, because what does Fiesty Friday do? It offends others or offends myself. Or both. Or sometimes it's to complain, what this is kind of about. Alright, so this is my Fiesty Friday. I was watching my favorite Jerusalem walker. And he was going about the Christmas mark. So, had the big, I guess, tree lighting and Christmas carols. Oh my Lord. It started off with a bad Christmas carol and it went to worse. It went to my least favorite. As in, it shouldn't even be on the list. I gave you my heart last Christmas. This year I'm giving it to someone special. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's every year. I hear the same thing. You keep giving your heart away to someone, and then you're like, oh, I gave you that heart last year for Christmas, but this year I'm going to give it to someone special. No, you're not. You're just giving it away. That's what you're doing. You're giving your heart away. And you know who you should be giving your heart away to? Especially at Christmas? Jesus. That's who your heart should be going to. Because you know what? Your loneliness, your addiction to have to be with somebody, it's part of our makeup. It's part of that piece that's missing. We're longing to be with our Creator, and what happens is we replace it with everything else. And so you're left with an emptiness. And so you're reaching out, striving to get that girl or boy. The singer is a guy. So here it is. And I've seen this both in men and women, where they're so desperate that a lot of times they keep ending up with the same patterned individual, which isn't going to work out. And then you have those people that are, I'm just waiting for that perfect man to come into my life. Please. There ain't no perfect man. And guess what? You ain't perfect either, hun. So, let me tell you. It's not about waiting for that perfect guy that God has for you, because that perfect guy does not exist. So stop giving your heart away to someone special. Okay? Stop it. Can't stand that song. Oh! No, I don't get that angry about it. But I don't like the song. Alright, so I'm sitting there watching him like for the last week or so, and the festivities in Jerusalem with the Christian Quarter. They have Santa Clauses all lined up at the marketplace. They have, the lights, they have the tree, they have all the stuff, Last year, I think I was watching Syria. I was watching Damascus with the same thing. I think it was last year. It may have been the year before, because remember, Damascus fell shortly after that. But there was Christmas in Damascus. They did the tree lighting. There was Christmas carols. None of them talked about Jesus, okay? There was a lot of one-horse open sleigh, dashing through the snow in the Middle East. All right. They would have had to go to Mount Hermon to get to the snow. There was no one-horse open sleigh dashing through the snow. Jingle bells, jingle bells. All right. And that's where jingle bells comes from. It's the bells along the sleigh as the horses went along. So anyways, with that, the song choices. And I'm not against the song choices, the ho-ho-hos, the deck the halls, all that. I'm fine with them. But when not one reference to Jesus is made, not one. And here you are in the Holy Land. You're in this place. And there's no reference to Jesus. It's all about Santa Claus. It's all about the Christmas tree. It's all about giving your heart to someone special. You know who's special? Jesus. Jesus is special. And I sat there and go, oh my Lord, what the Jewish people may be thinking of us Christians, because what they're getting is Santa Claus, big old fat ho ho ho. It's not even the original St. Nicholas, and St. Nicholas would not have tolerated that. He would have been about Jesus. The man punched somebody for their heresy. You know? So it's like, I have to research that. So anyways, I'm sitting here with a Santa hat on. My Christmas attire for the Friday at work. Next week is Spirit Week. We're going to be dressing up as elves and Santa and shirts and whatever else we can. Each day is a separate dress up day. Nothing about Jesus, but you know what? It's in a public school, so it's understandable because public schools frown on Jesus. You know, they're okay with 6-7. Yeah, they're okay with that. They're okay with some rapper that is into dark magic. Yeah, they're okay with that. They're okay with Harry Potter. They're okay with Jack. Confusing Halloween with Christmas. So yeah, I'm just a walking contradiction today. But the thing with it is this. It's what is the reason for the season? What is the purpose for celebrating Christmas? If the purpose of celebrating Christmas is to get gifts, if the purpose to celebrating Christmas is to get drunk, if the purpose for celebrating Christmas is so that you can find a new romance, if the purpose for celebrating Christmas is anything other than Jesus, we've missed the mark. And people that don't know Jesus can see it. What do the Jewish and the Muslim people in the Middle East see when you're sitting there having blow-up Santas and Christmas carols that are irrelevant for your area? Idolatry, paganism. You got to remember that a lot, I mentioned it this week, and I'm not against celebrating Christmas with a Christmas tree, and I don't have a Christmas tree because I have a dog and a cat and I'm lazy. I have like a little metal one that sits on my sewing machine cabinet. That's it. That's all I got. So the thing of it is that I'm not against these things. I'm just saying, where is Jesus in it for you? Where is it that you're showing Christ to the people of the world? So I'm sitting there looking at, we've got a lot of pagan traditions in the holidays, and the pagans notice it. They say that you stole it. I know, because I had one tell me that it was stolen. They don't see it as a redeeming anything. And what is it redeeming when it takes the place of Jesus? If it takes the place of showing Jesus to the world, What's the point? I'd rather celebrate Hanukkah, because Hanukkah, Jesus celebrated. Hanukkah is about the lights. Found out what the dreidel was for. I might talk about that on Monday, because that's the beginning of Hanukkah. That's Sunday night, actually, because remember, the day starts in the evening prior. When the sun goes down, the day begins. So with that, when it has come down to this space of all about Santa Claus, all about the Christmas tree, all about the parties, all about everything other than Jesus. And what do people see? Do they see Jesus in that? Do they see Jesus in anything? And I know that there's symbolism in all of it, because, the attempt to redeem it was there to, well, it represents life, and it represents this, and, well, we picked the 25th because of that, and, all this stuff, right? So, when we celebrate Christmas, are we representing Jesus in our speech, in our actions? Because we certainly are not representing him on our front lawns. I have not found one nativity in town yet, other than the one at the Catholic Church. It was a living nativity that I went to go see. Thank you. Thank you, Catholic Church, for having a living nativity. For having a nativity at all. Because all I see is Santa Clauses. And other cartoon characters dressed up as Santa Clauses. Or with presents. So it's a little bit feisty today. And I'm a walking contradiction. Because I'm dressed up like a pseudo Santa Claus with my hat. And Jack, the Halloween character. Halloween Town, whatever it's called. Mixing Christmas with Halloween. I got very upset last night. Just trying to figure out, what do non-Christians see when they see Christians celebrating Christmas? What is the focal point? What is it that they are trying to convey? That's all I got for you today. All right, blessings, everybody. My fingers are frozen, and so I gotta go. All right, bye. Oh, don't forget, I almost forgot. Go over to YouTube, Mona E. Harrison. You'll see my white hair, my beautiful face. You'll know you're in the right spot, and subscribe. All right, blessings. Have a great day. I'll see you then.